4 game developers, 1 art kit, we each make a game, let's go. Here are the rules. Each developer has 48 non-consecutive hours to make their game. All the visuals must come from the art kit, but we're free to manipulate that art kit however we like. We can add public domain music and sound effects without issue. We can also use supplementary graphics like shaders and particles. Today I am joined by NADLABS, NathanTheCraziest, and Egeltorp. The art kit we're using today is the Micro Roguelike Kit by Kenny. Also a big thank you to Mrs. for creating this challenge format. Here we go.
Looking at this asset pack, it's clear that it's meant for some sort of dungeon crawler, which is exactly what I'm going to make. And I thought it would have a turn-based combat system similar to Pokemon, but all the characters are on a grid. So I had to make a whole move system that would not only work for the players, but also to the enemies. Anyways, moves will cost energy, and luckily there was a perfect sprite for it. And when you pick a move, you'll be able to see all possible spaces you can use it on. Simple moves for placing an entity in a different position in the grid will work fine. However, you need to fight enemies as well. So I added a whole more extra logic to make attacks work. And with some extra juice, you can attack and kill other enemies. But right now, the enemies are just standing there and letting the player attack them as much as they want. So after a whole lot more coding, you can give an enemy a pool of moves and they will randomly pick one and try to perform it. You can also see the enemy's intents during your turn. And then I added an end turn button, and if you're standing on any of the spots where the enemies will attack, you will take damage. And also, enemies will most of the time try to move as well as attack. This took a lot of extra work to get done, but eventually I was able to make it work fine. But of course, a single enemy wasn't going to cut it. We need a lot more. But not just that, since this is a dungeon crawler, we need to have some variety of rooms to explore, and eventually a boss in the end. So I worked on a system to switch between different rooms, which will act as the overall game's progression. I tried to do something similar to Slay the Spire with different routes and stuff, but that only works when you have a wide variety of fights and events, which my game lacks, so a single path it is. And also, every time you beat an encounter, you get the choice to add 1 of 3 moves to your list to use in the next combat. And I also wanted to do a whole relic system, but at this point I was running out of time and I had no idea if I could make it at all. So I went for a super simple approach. In the map you can see 2 chest nodes. Both of these will give you 2 predetermined items. First one will give a sword which will make you do extra damage, and then a shield which will just give you 1 extra heart. I mean, it's nothing much, just increase one of the player's stats if they have an item. But now we need an end to the game, and I was looking for something that is suitable for a final boss, and I'd usually prefer something that is like 2 times bigger than the player, but we don't have any options like that here. So I just took this hooded guy and called him the Wizard, gave him a lot of health, and he gains all of the attacks that you have. To be honest, it's not a real challenge. I mean, the whole game is very easy and forgiving, and some of the moves are so overpowered. And even if you don't have them, you could perfectly dodge all the attacks and put in some chip damage until they die. So to kinda help with this, I added a scoring system that rewards you for killing enemies as soon as possible, which I think makes things more interesting. Anyway, I gave it a name and I think that's the whole game done.
Instantly, I'm like mesmerized. Everything he makes looks so fucking good. It always looks so clean, so well made, so professional. And like the sound, it's just, I like this, I like it. So let's dive in.
Pick a node on the map. Skill map. Fight enemies ahead. I assume I have to select this one. Oh wow, that music kind of it picked up. It's got layers. Wow, that's nice.
Okay. Stab. Only in diagonals. Quick step. I'm guessing these guys are also in diagonals. It's empty. Blind. Wait, can I not just keep going? Oh, it has to be on diagonals. Okay. So that means I have to... What? Grab?
I just want to see what happens. Oh, so that tells you where they're going to move. Okay. But if I move into these squares, I assume he'll throw a pebble at me. Oh, I can only stab diagonally, huh? Okay. Can I stab him a bunch? I can. Okay, cool. I like the sound effects. The way they ramp up is really nice.
Now my turn's over. Now I should be able to stab this guy. Alright. Oh, add a new move. Alright. Let's I want to do a sprint actually.
It's not sword. It's actually 1 more damage. Applies at the start of combat. Nice. That is super nice.
Oh my god, no, I'm gonna die. How did they calculate my score? What? Okay, I'm gonna try this again.
I love the UI. This all looks great. Like, what the hell? Looks so polished. This is so much better than my fucking game. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm getting mugged. Nathan, you did a great job.
Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm scared to see what this guy can do. Can I get in range of a pebble throw? No, I can't. I guess he has the same moves I do.
He's attacking his own fire. Very impressive. Oh, he can stab. He's gonna move away as well. That's fine, because I can quick step. Ah, I can't. Oy vey.
Then just get like that. And then get out. Nope, he's too smart. Oh, but he just has like 2 health. Okay, like that. And there we go. I won. Score 8,060. Wow. Palace Plummeting. Alright. I like this.
That was excellent. It really felt like a cohesive experience. I think the map looks really nice, to be honest. This is probably like the intended use of the art kit, so I applaud it being used well for sure. The sound effects were great, the music was great. Yeah, there were really nice transitions. The gameplay was good. Probably a little bit too easy, at least coming off of NADLABS game, which was a puzzle nightmare.
Okay, that was really nice. I really like that. I really like that. That was really nice. I do see potential for this being a bigger game, but no, I do see potential for this being a bigger game. This is pretty interesting. Like, this is really good.
Alright, so my name is Egeltorp, or Ted if you want. For this developer challenge, I decided to make a bit of a Doom clone, and I used Godot for it. The first thing I did was to set up the scene in the engine. I threw in a couple of BS buildings hastily made in Blender and plopped down a gray plane. Then I got the viewport resolution sorted out and I started playing around with the visual style I wanted for the game. I wanted it to be kind of pixelated and retro but still feel fresh. Then I wrote a proper game design document for the project and I started fleshing out the basic game loop and overall concept. The idea was basically a sort of dungeon-themed Duke Nukem Doom-inspired clone with potential for some really cool post-processing effects that I never really got to anyway. Then I ran into some annoying ghosting issues and I realized they might be tied to the absurd frame rate count on my high refresh monitor. And yep, I capped the max FPS to 60 and bam, the ghosting was gone. Genius move. Then I got some basic movement working. This clip is so fucked up it makes no sense, but whatever. I made some basic UI for restart and death. I added a gun texture from the asset pack. Straight up kit bash, clusterfuck, whatever, I don't know. I added the jump and shoot sounds and some basic camera shake that I actually removed later on because it sucked. Then I dropped about 30 fucking euros on Crocodile 3D, which is admittedly a pretty good program, it's just hard to learn. I made the first map in this program too. Then I added 3 enemy types with simple chase behavior and insta-kill mechanics. I added the orcs, the rats, and the fire. Then I slapped in some background music that I actually just pitched down from my game Cairo, and I added these 5 looping voice lines. That's pretty much it for now. It's still really early, but the game works, and it's already starting to feel like a proper jank fest. And yeah, that's Fleshlocked for you. Now, just a disclaimer, I made this entire project from start to finish in like 12-13 hours, and then I actually destroyed my hard drive, so I had to basically start over. I only had the script saved from GitHub, and so I had to remake the entire game again, and I really destroyed like all my passion for it. So that's why the game is so fucking lacking. The level is so short. The original level was a lot bigger and I had actually spent a couple of days on it, but when I started doing it again I just felt like, no, you know what, I'm done with this. Let's just not. So that's why it's kind of janky and shit and short, but you know, at least I did something.
Here I am with Egeltorp's game Fleshlocked. I seem to have been killed by a rat when I was trying to get the recording set up. That's fine. The first thing I noticed Obviously, these voice lines are hilarious.
Fucking ghouls.
I love these voice lines.
I'm here to kill and chew bubblegum, but I'm all out of bullets and also bubblegum.
Okay. Well, 3D with a 2D asset pack. Very interesting.
Nice. What is this? Oh, it's just the ground. Okay. I like how it looks. Ooh, okay.
The shader's interesting. Or not necessarily a shader. I guess it's probably just a crunched resolution. Turned off the anti-aliasing to this nice jagged effect. It's not hard on the eyes, which I appreciate.
Wonder how he got the voices. Did he record it himself? I mean, I don't know.
You're never gonna catch me listening to Cemetery. Even though I do live in one, I much prefer Bleed, which is also something I'm getting for Christmas.
Huh? Well, I don't know what that means. I mean, honestly, I really like how this is done.
Bleed, which is also something I'm getting for Christmas.
I love the voice lines. Ooh. Thought you could sneak up on me like that, eh? Okay.
Reloading is for cowards and poets.
Very funny line. I think Egeltorp put that in there because he wasn't able to finish his game completely, which is really too bad. Because he said it'd have like this vertical section or multiple floors, and he had to make this level again from scratch, which took him some time. Because he lost all the files. Okay, the fire does kill you.
Even though I do live in one, I much prefer Bleed, which is also something I'm getting for Christmas.
I still don't know what that means, but... Alright. I mean, I think this key should open this up. Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, what can I say? Pretty simple, fun game.
That was fun. I really like that. I do understand that Egeltorp had issues with his computer and whatnot, but you know, that was pretty good considering if I lost my computer and I had to build a game, that was good.
Alright, I mean, it's complete. I can definitely see where he was going with it. I made my game in 3D too, but this is very different. I'd say it's even perhaps a better use of the tiles than I did. At least it's visually reminiscent of the actual art kit itself. It's too bad, again, that he wasn't able to finish it on time, but I'm happy he managed to get it in, and I had fun playing it.
I published Steps Unbound for this game jam. Hi, I'm NADLABS, and I went with a very rogue-inspired game for this game jam. I spent about 30 hours on the entirety of the development process. About 20 straight hours were focused on programming and development, some of which I streamed, recorded, and did on the bus. And I'm grossly overestimating the last 10 hours, but about 5 hours were spent designing, so that means actually working out enemy parameters, how much enemies move, why enemies move, maybe 5 hours thinking, what do I need to change to make fun? I was thinking about what are the enemies and what are the parameters instead of just working them out. And the reason I want to show and explain why I took so much time on different parts of the game development process for this game jam is because when you look at the clips of how and what I was making, it changes a lot throughout. That's because I was prototyping a lot and the structure of the game I wanted to make changed a lot. And the final product you see is actually something that comes out of the last 5 hours of development and doesn't really show the initial like 20 hours that I put into making other aspects of the game that I didn't think should go out into the final product. But anyways, I'm overall really happy with taking part in this jam, and thank you so much to Gryhme for organizing this between the 34 of us. But here's my spiel of how this jam went for me. Initially, looking back at the midnight recording, this is the first time I'm actually probably looking at it. Dog, rat. I'm gonna switch this to my iPad. You know, enemies trying to come at you, but maybe using these walls, there's like a pathway that you have to kind of go through. So it's like chess. No, it's not like chess. It's like row. The challenge here is to like get from one side of the map to the other side of the map. You have to get to the other side, but you have to kind of avoid goblins getting at you. And that's a very, very simple, clear challenge to get through. Not hard at all. But you can see it's 12:09 p.m. and I'm going to bed. Bye. I really wanted to make another grid-based game, so naturally I had to focus on map generation because that holds a bunch of what the game is going to be about. This was a big challenge because maps define the whole experience, and I realized that simple big blobs of land aren't fun. There was no strategic depth. So I boiled down map design mathematically, mixing random lines with open areas to create meaningful player choices. For example, do you go down one path or another, and where do those paths lead? And I kind of boiled it down into this really simple algorithm where I had a bunch of random lines and a bunch of random areas, and I kind of just traced paths with them using a random walker. It was that simple. Using Godot's tile map with A-star pathfinding, I got enemies moving quickly, but here's the twist. When an enemy moves onto a tile, that tile becomes blocked for other enemies, so the second enemy has to find a different route, which adds to the depth of the game because now the enemies are kind of thinking around you, and you don't have to predict where one guy goes, but you have to figure out where the other guy is going to go, and you have to work around that. I also experimented with a lot of player abilities like placing a fire down or some shields, but it got way too complicated, especially with enemy interaction, so I ended up cutting out most of it to keep things clean, although I do want to revisit this idea with a bunch of different props and items in the future. So I realized I had to take a step back and I had to really focus on the fundamentals. What was my initial idea? One side of the map to the other side of the map. And this is where the last 5 hours of development really came into play, because I kind of took my master's research, which focuses a lot on spatial orientation and movement and figuring out how people move and, how they place things in real life, and I applied that to my game because I literally kind of figured out, hey, why don't I make a game with the enemies who are moving around and trying to flank you? Why don't I let you flank the enemies? So you're flanking the flanking enemies. I think that sounds pretty cool on paper, and that's when I introduced the multi-step jumps where you can jump up to 2 to 4 blocks. You can place blocks, you can mine blocks, or you could push enemies. I realized that these skills I could give to the player from the get-go. It wouldn't be too overpowered, and on top of that, it would be balanced enough for the player to understand what's happening. And that's about it for the designs and challenges I kind of went through when designing it. I don't want to take up too much time explaining this. I may have a video detailing systems further on my channel, but apart from that, enjoyed the footage and gameplay of the other devs here trying out the game and, figuring out how bad or good the game I made was. Thank you.
Oh, hell. This looks complicated. Let's hover over someone to get info on their behavior. I guess this is a someone. Use arrow keys to move the pointer around. Spacebar to move. Oh, nice sounds. I can't move there, I suppose. Alright, press 1, 2, 3 to move further. Oh, I suppose. Ah, okay.
Press D to toggle diagonal mode. So can do that.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4 to move further. I assume I need to use the oh, I just had to read this all. It's not in order. Press M to mine blocks 2. Okay, M. Feel like a gaming journalist right now.
2, 4, 3. Nay! What's happening? Why am I just dying like that? I don't understand.
1, 2, 3 to move forward. Press D to toggle diagonal mode. M to mine blocks 2. You can press P to push people. Oh, I see. I have a limited number of movements.
Ready. This guy will follow you. Be careful. Will teleport around you randomly every few moves. Third, this enemy will move only if it has a direct line of sight to you orthogonally.
Let's go diagonal. Like that. And then non-diagonal, like... I have to go 1 and 4. Oh, what the f... That's unlucky. Oh, it's random. That's super cool.
What? Oh my god, I'm so stupid. I'm supposed to jump over this. But the instructions down there.
He's not gonna reach me in time. There you go. Wait. How am I still at level 0? What about this? What does this build do? Mine push.
The gaming journalist is back. Oh boy. What am I missing? Wait. Oh, it's not a cave, it's like a void. I can build in the places that are empty. That's the difference. Or maybe not. Oh no, I can't. Okay. And I can mine the places that I can walk through. To me, that does seem a little bit reversed.
Oh, you know what? Let's go here. Boom. There we go. Let's go. Alright, I think that's enough. Really cool game, actually. The sound effects can be a bit jarring sometimes. And it's not the most self-explanatory. Like, I didn't even try doing the build and mining mechanics, but...
Alright, back on the crab level. Look at all this, man. I mine here. And I mine here. Oh. Miss input. Alright, can I... From level 1 again. That's brutal. Wait, oh, I can mine at a distance, right? No? Oh, it's build. I can. Wow, that's strong. I think I might call it because honestly, I got further than I ever thought I would. It's really cool. Like I said, I'd never seen a mechanic like this. I think it's a good usage of the art kit. Obviously, it fits the aesthetic. So yeah, great job. Great job, NADLABS. Looking at the art kit, I was a bit worried. I'm a 3D developer, but this is a very low-res art kit at 8x8 pixels. I knew I was going to make a 3D game, but I didn't know how I was going to get the art to look good using these sprites on a 3D model. I traced out this blocky guy, and then I had an epiphany. I'll just use the entire art kit as one texture. The human brain is super good at finding patterns, so even when I put together seemingly random chunks of sprites, it's not hard to find something that looks deliberate or decent. So I made this blue slime guy mostly out of the water textures. Easy peasy. I also gave him this funny face-slapping attack. I just couldn't help myself. For the actual game idea, I settled on a 3D version of Ivy Sly's game, Angry Face, with the idea being that you combine a bunch of different procedural gun parts to make tons of varied guns with cool effects. Instead, I went for spellcasting with words, and Infini-Spell was born. The loop is basically this. You kill enemies, those enemies drop spell words, you combine the spell words to make better and new spells, and then you can kill enemies more effectively, all while the enemies are getting stronger too, Risk of Rain style. I recorded myself saying 100 words that sounded roughly magical, and then got to work making them cause different effects. Some of these effects include dealing damage, applying status effects like burning, chill, shock, poison, charm, and enrage, teleporting your enemy up so they can fall to their deaths, lifesteal, damage multipliers, instant kill chance, and execution at low health. Then there are target words, which determine which enemies will be hit by your spell. A simple example looks like this. You have the effect word car, which does 15 damage, and the target word ra, which targets a random enemy in the world. If you put car, and ra together, you have a spell that does 30 damage to a random enemy after you finish chanting the words. Now imagine that, but you can combine up to 10 words across 2 different spells with this many different effects and targets. It's a min-maxer's dream. It ended up being a very complicated system under the hood, but I was in a programming flow state for around 20 hours, and I crushed it with plenty of time to work on everything else. I also used several sprites from the art kit for the different status effects. Then I worked on the map. I used Trench Brim and Funk Godot with a few of the textures from the art kit to whip up this arena space. I quickly realized it was kind of boring and flat, so I decided to redo the art to fit a Wizards vs. Robots theme. Then I made 3 new enemies. A flying enemy which shoots lasers at you, a stationary tower which launches AoE attacks you have to jump over, and a boss which is really tanky, fast, and shoots a ton of lasers. As you can see, most of the textures for these robots come from the wall sprites of the kit, with the grays and blacks providing that robotic metal texture. Then I made this really big floor with a grid shader, and I made it and most of the enemies in the game glow. The AoE effect on the towers is done by animating the radii on a couple of cylindrical areas and a torus mesh which has the graphics effect. I then decided to add an upgrade system because this game is all about customization of builds. There are a lot of upgrades that you can choose from every minute, and they all stack. These include things like air jumps, more health regen, stronger status effects, and a whole bunch of other stuff. If you stack these high enough, you can get really strong. I also added an insanely hard endless mode after you beat the boss, but this endless mode is really just designed to kill players who think they have an OP build. I playtested it with 2 friends, confirmed they could beat the game, and that there were multiple viable builds, and I was done. I'm a little worried that I made the game too hard, but I prefer hard games over easy games myself.
Time for Infini-Spell by Gryhme. First off, like, the game looks amazing. The fact that you managed to make this with the art pack, awesome. Let's take a look. Like, the glow looks really good. I like it. Was to move. Yes, sir. Shift to sprint, yeah. Space to jump. You craft spells out of words. No way. I think since you just tell me here to sprint, I'm gonna sprint through these and just have to go back. That's a bit weird, but you know, no worries.
Per spell max, no mixing target spells, okay. Type discovered words to add them to a spell, middle mouse button. Oh, whoa. What the hell? I don't know.
Middle mouse button to... What? This is crazy. Karun. Wait, middle mouse button to open spellcasting. Spells need an effect and a target. You can only include as many words as you are found.
Car. Adds 15 direct damage per stack. So does that... So if I just type this... No, middle mouse.
Oh, this is my first spell. Okay, so I can... Like that? Instantly hits whatever you're aiming at. Okay, so now... Oh, that's cool! So I'm hitting them with the Karun. Now I should be able to... Oran, drain, and... Drain gang. Anyways. Okay, so here I should be able to do Oran and drain. Drain gang. Let's go. That's so cool. How'd you make that? What? How'd you do the text to speech thing? Every minute you get an upgrade. The game gets harder over time. Alright, good luck.
I mean, very interesting.
I don't know how I feel about typing the words, but this is so interesting. This is like Noita but words. No, this is Noita first person. This is so interesting. Okay, I have a lot of spells. Let me... Ooh, okay. God damn it. Girl, this is so good. Kills enemy at 10% per stack.
Oh! Okay, so let's... 2 air jumps. Poison damage. Wait, your skills... Oh, I can choose a potency.
No way. I mean, I have to say, this is way too many options.
Do I get 4 double jumps? Ooh, I do get multiple double jumps. Okay, so now I can easily clear this. Okay, play. Okay. Oh my god, that's a lot of spells I should have checked earlier. Hey. I don't think my spell 2 parsed properly. I can basically fly.
I don't know. This looks really good. It looks good. It sounds good. I love the text-to-speech thing. It can get a bit, you know, tough to look at, I suppose, because there's a lot of things going on. Oh, wow! No, I just wanted to see the purple stuff, man.
Well, I mean, it was quite difficult to understand, but I mean, the idea is really, really fun. I really like this one. And man, the visuals, really like funny, but smart way to use the asset pack. I can recognize all these are just part of the castle. Now, what can I say? Good game.
Okay, it's actually really good. This is really good. I really like this one. Both games I played were really good. Wow. That was... Wow. That was really good. Holy shit.
If you want to see more videos like this, please consider liking and subscribing so I know that people like these. Again, thank you to NADLABS, NathanTheCraziest, and Egeltorp for joining me in this challenge. They're all very talented, and their channels are linked in the description, so please check them out. If you want to play any of these games, you can also find them down in the description as well. See ya.